Well, okay. Let's start off with the good things. Visually, this film was gorgeous. Oh my god. When I think cyberpunk, that was it. That was clearly it. They got from the dirtiness of a world that's kind of starting to crumble away, but at the same time they overlay everything with this augmented reality uh, type filter, so everybody's got these these holographic looking things all over the place, and they put these applications on their faces. There's this one scene that we kept seeing in the trailers of the lady looking at the major going, what are you? When we find out she was actually like a streetwalker or something like that, the major went ahead and bought time with just to look at her, just to kind of poke at her. So yeah, you get a lot of that very when they get away from all the shininess of the city proper and all the augmented reality, you get a real sense of grime. This is finally a great representation of the cyberpunk genre as it was originally thought up back in the 80s. When I play a session of Shadowrun or Cyberpunk 2020, this is the kind of stuff that I imagine, and they captured that perfectly. Oh, it was amazing as far as that goes. That being said, this was an okay film. This was not a revolutionary, mind-blowing kind of thing. This was clearly a reboot. I know the advertisements leading up to this, you couldn't quite tell what they were doing with it. I was suspecting for a while, but yeah, this was a clear reboot of the franchise. They took some elements here and there. You did get, as I'm sure many of you heard, they did pick certain scenes from the original movie and recreated them shot for shot, which again, fantastic, beautiful, beautiful. The effects of the thermoptic camouflage were wonderful. The that opening scene where they bring the android through so that it gets its muscle and skin overlay, and it's floating in the water and goes through and rises up. Spot on. Again, visually, this movie was fantastic. Story follows Major, how do they pronounce it? Mila Killian, who, and, all right, spoilers, who we find out her real name was Motoko Kozanagi, which we know as the real name of the Major from the movies and the series and all that. And actually, this is a great way to get around, because let's face it, we all had that controversy of, Scarlett Johansson playing the Major. Not right. First of all, get over it, people. You pick the person for the job, if they could do the job. Secondly, in the series, in both, like the manga and the movie and stuff like that, Motoko actually kind of preferred European women. And seeing how she's a full Borg, she could have any shell she wants. Now, in this movie, they get around this whole thing of why is she not Asian by saying that the original Motoko that they converted was actually a runaway child. They just plucked her brain out, tried to wipe it as best they could, and plopped it into a custom-made frame that looks nothing like what she originally looked like, and then gave her some false memories and told her that this mind suppressant drug that she keeps using is actually for anti-rejection. There are some elements from the original movie as far that they try to mirror a little bit in the storyline of the puppet master, who this time we actually find out is, instead of an AI that was created by Black Ops Project, instead we find is a predecessor to the Major's cyber conversion. That the company that was used to create her had gone through like 98 other people, runaways and vagrants, in this conversion process, and then they finally got it right with her. The story was okay. I wish it was stronger. I wish the characters were stronger. This was in the movies and in the series, when you're introduced to these to the people of Section 9, these people have been doing their job for years. Very professional, very on it all the time, very strong in what they do. With this reboot, you're getting the beginnings of Section 9. The beginnings of a lot of these characters. Now, unfortunately, most of the secondary cast that we would know from Section 9 are not utilized. Togusa has a couple of lines. Togusa was the member of the team that, other than Aramaki, was pretty much completely human. And you get a little one-off line that he mentions about that, although he kind of sneers a little bit more at cyber augmentation than his character did in the series. You get Bato. You actually find they gave a different reason why he has the tactical all-seeing eyes, or never blinking eyes, whatever they called them in the series. But you find out that he got them during an explosion in this movie, whereas in the series, Bato was originally part of the military, and that was an upgrade that he had received as part of his military special forces deployment. So that's the thing. A lot of these, it feels like these are more cops and mercenaries just starting out in this section, as opposed to, again, seasoned vets. Bato originally was a military Black Ops operative, a Navy SEAL type. Aramaki was featured pretty good in this movie. However, the guy that they got to play it for was fine. I like how they even gave him the little curls on the edges of his hair to kind of mimic how they depicted him in the cartoons. But this guy felt weak. Aramaki in the movies, in the series, felt like this strong, commanding type. This guy's this kind of soft-spoken, just kind of watching things, but you didn't really feel the kind of respect that the team gave him in previous works. Now, again, it does make it feel like you're definitely seeing the very beginnings of Section 9, but I felt that Aramaki's character was really poorly handled. Yeah. Although I did find it was interesting that they had him speaking Japanese all the time. So, as for Scarlett Johansson's character herself, I thought she did a great job. I was afraid she was going to throw too much emotion at it. But considering how they made this feel like everybody was a bunch of newbies anyway, to have her show a little more fear and surprise at the type of stuff that they're doing made a little bit more sense. Again, this is a reboot, so I gotta keep in mind that a lot of what was set up in the previous universes is not going to be present here, and that's clearly the case. I don't know exactly how well this did yet. I gotta look, and I'm seeing this late in its release schedule. This particular theater only was showing it 2 times a day. I think pretty sure they're going to pull it by the end of next week. So I don't know exactly how well this did internationally. I don't know if this is going to be the start of a franchise. I would love to see, with this kind of base, especially, what they would do next. I would love to see how they would take this material and evolve it. Move it along a few years to where now you do have that advanced team, that confidence, the power that you expected from the movies and the series, and then create something unique. Again, there were quite a few homages to the original movie that they wanted to make sure they did. These shot-for-shot scenes that they wanted to make sure that they included, which is fine. It's great. People like me who grew up with the original movie and enjoyed it and loved it, that's wonderful to have been able to see that. Now, I want to see what happens when they go with a truly original set piece using what they've done so far in this movie. Whatever they've set up, give me a new story. Give me something that's not an homage to any of the previous works. Or if you want to do something, okay, reach back into the manga. Something that I wouldn't necessarily know offhand. And let's see what you do when you really cut loose. So, we'll see. We'll see. You never know what'll happen. But I give this a 6 out of 10. Till next time, I'm Daiquiri Jack. This is Geek Gumbo's Nerd Noise, and there it is.